The Democrats have another debate tonight, and it could get nasty. Hey everyone, I'm Chad Hasty, host of the Chad Hasty Show, which airs weekday mornings, 8:30 to 11 a.m. Central Time on News Talk 95.1 FM and 790 a.m. KFYO. Tonight on CBS at 7 p.m. Central Time, the Democrats will get together in South Carolina for another debate. You'll have on stage, of course, Bernie Sanders, Joe Biden, Mike Bloomberg, Pete Buttigieg, Amy Klobuchar, Elizabeth Warren, and also Tom Steyer, who did not make the last debate, but will be on the debate stage this time. So it'll be interesting to see exactly what he brings to the table, because he spent a lot of time in South Carolina trying to woo voters away from Joe Biden. For Joe Biden, he has a lot to gain and a lot to lose in South Carolina. So what should you expect in tonight's debate? Well, I thought Matt McKoviak, who appeared on my radio show earlier today, put it in a really good way. Tonight's going to get bloody. Tonight's going to be probably bloodier than the last Democrat debate. And I was a huge fan. I loved the last Democrat debate. It was absolutely fantastic. As a Republican watching the debate, seeing the Democrats go after each other and just eat them their own on stage, I thought it was absolutely fantastic. I think you'll see a couple of things tonight. One, I think you'll see the so-called moderates really turn their attention not on each other, but on Bernie Sanders. I think that you're going to see Pete Buttigieg, even though I don't believe he's a moderate, but you'll see Pete Buttigieg, Amy Klobuchar, Joe Biden. I think you will see them really train their attacks on Bernie Sanders and the electability of Bernie Sanders. I think you'll see Mike Bloomberg try to go after Bernie Sanders on a few different issues, including gun issues, but also some polling that came out, according to the Mike Bloomberg campaign, that Bernie Sanders would hurt down ballot races across the country if Bernie Sanders were, in fact, the nominee. Now, listen, they don't have a lot of time. Here in the great state of Texas, we're in early voting. Early voting continues until Friday. Super Tuesday is not far away, and these candidates have very little time to try and take out Bernie Sanders. I don't know if it's going to be possible. And Bernie Sanders is able to hold his own in this debate. I think that he's going to maybe win in South Carolina. I know there are some polls out that show that he's that he is still behind Joe Biden in South Carolina. But listen, there's a lot of time left between now and Saturday, politically speaking. There's a lot of time left. Anything could happen. And I think there's still a chance that maybe Bernie Sanders wins in South Carolina. It's obviously a state that Joe Biden has to win, and I think he has to win big. I think he has to win by more than 3 points. I think he has to win by about 5 percentage points to be taken seriously in some of these Super Tuesday states. So Bernie Sanders, I think he's going to win Texas. I think he's going to win California. I think he's going to win most of the Super Tuesday states. So the Democrats really have to focus on Bernie Sanders tonight in order to try and stop him. I don't know if they'll be successful, but we'll see what happens. I think there's going to be attacks on Mike Bloomberg, and I think that's primarily going to come from Elizabeth Warren. Warren did a great job in the last debate kneecapping Mike Bloomberg. I think she's going to go after Bloomberg again. If Bloomberg is not ready, then, I mean, he should be just totally disqualified because he should know that he's going to get it once again from Elizabeth Warren, probably from Bernie Sanders as well. But for Bernie Sanders, what he has to do is show that he can take the attacks, from the Democrats who are on stage, because he's going to get attacked if he is the nominee. Trump's going to come at him. Really, really hard. I think right now the only way to stop Bernie Sanders is at the Democrat convention. But again, anything can happen after these debates and moving forward. But Bernie Sanders right now, he is the leader. Joe Biden has collapsed, and really no other so-called moderate has been able to rise. I think that for Pete Buttigieg, who is kind of looked at as maybe the second or third place person in this race, for Pete Buttigieg, he'll probably leave Amy Klobuchar alone. She looked like she wanted to stab him in the last debate. I think Pete Buttigieg will focus his attacks on Bernie Sanders. Pete Buttigieg, no matter what you think about him, he's laid out some pretty good arguments against Bernie Sanders. And so we'll see if he continues to do the same tonight. It could get nasty on the debate stage. I'm all for it. I can't wait to see what's going to happen. I'm sure they'll ask about the coronavirus tonight. I'm sure they'll ask also about, minority voters and what these candidates will do for minority voters. That's something that, I think Mike Bloomberg will come under fire for, but I also think Pete Buttigieg will come under fire for it, and maybe even Amy Klobuchar. So there's a lot of things to look for in tonight's debate. It happens on CBS, 7 p.m. Central Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Should be a fun debate to watch if you're a Republican. If you're a Democrat, prepare for more chaos. And who knows? Bernie Sanders, you have a lot riding on tonight. If Bernie can rise above and not take a lot of damage, I think it's all over. If Bernie Sanders is beat down tonight, if Bernie Sanders can't come up with any good answers as far as his embrace of Fidel Castro in Cuba and him honeymooning in the USSR, if he can't come up with some good answers on that, it may hurt him moving forward. But the question is it too late? I think it probably is. Tune in to the Chad Hasty Show weekday mornings, 8:30 to 11 a.m. Central Time on News Talk 95.1 FM and 790 a.m. KFYO. You can listen on the KFYO app and, of course, online at KFYO.com.